Are Google and other search engines slowly changing the way that we define the term library? How many times have you found yourself trying to zoom in on a textbook or a piece of paper using your fingers just out of habit? This is only one example of how technology is slowly phasing out the world of text that we know. The majority of research done for projects, papers, and various work is now done online. Nearly every type of text, as far as textbook, articles, and journal entries, can be found through an online resource, most of which are free or relatively cheap. The term library itself has become more associated with an online selection rather than a physical building full of books and paper-based resources. As a person who prefers to pick up a book and read for pleasure, even I succumb to the occasional e-textbook simply because I receive it instantly. They're never out of stock, and information is found much easier than having to flip through page after page trying to find one specific statement. So how many times has Google helped you gain knowledge of a subject in very little time? According to an article published by Waikato Times on TechCrunch.com, written by Jenna Lynch and Elton Smallman on October 22, 2014, search engines are killing the libraries we know as ink and paper, and they're replacing them with computer screens and handheld devices. Finding extensive research on virtually any topic you can think of is all at the tap of our finger. And even in some cases, we use Siri on our iPhones or OK Google on our Android phones to search for something without any effort, and it finds it for us. This is another example of how technology is changing how we search for things and how we do our research. Nearly every type of text that you can think of can be found online. According to an article published by the New York Times titled A Quandary Over Textbooks, written by Ann Carnes on August 8, 2014, there are various reasons why students choose e-textbooks. Just because it's easier to find information, and they are environmentally friendly. It's quicker to buy books online than have to wait for them to come in the mail and try to figure out where all of the information's at, while you can just search for a certain chapter. You can search for a certain article in the book. It's cheaper, it's easier, and it's faster. And it's a sad truth, but as my generation and generations after me grow to be more technology dependent, we keep searching and finding ways that allow us to finish our work with minimal effort and finish it faster just to have it done. Even I am guilty of my mind going straight to the term music when I hear library. I associate it more with an online selection rather than an actual library, as I stated. And a quote by Eli Neilberger, the keynote speaker at the Library and Information Association of New Zealand in 2013 that I found on thenewyorker.com, states that people grew up with libraries meaning nothing to them other than books. And now that their books are going digital, they're starting to question what their libraries mean. It's sad, but the days of checking out a book for research are becoming obsolete. Normally, I actually spoke to my mom about this subject. When she was in high school, they gave you much more time than is given to high school students now to do a research project, just because doing a project such as that in that time required you to check out a book, read the articles, do the research the hard way. And sadly, many people my age and people younger than me don't know how to do those sorts of things. We're used to going to Google and typing in a topic or a question and finding the answers right there on multiple sides of it. It's becoming easier and it's becoming faster, but I feel like we're losing so much knowledge in the process. Just because I can Google anything. I can Google test answers, I can Google questions, anything you want to know is available online. And it's scary because now we're Googling things to pass a class. We're not we're not searching to gain knowledge, to remember. We're just Googling things for the time. And that's why we can't remember anything. Research projects at this point are taking minimal effort to gain knowledge. As a vast selection of resources are online, they can accommodate any type of need for the information. And as future generations grow into the world of research papers and book reports and online projects, it makes you wonder just how much faster they will obtain the information than we will. I'm sure that my mother assumed that we would be obtaining the information the same way they did, with books and paper resources. But look at how much technology has grown just in the past decade. Everything changes so fast with technology, and we've advanced so much in the past 10 years. In the past 5 years, we've advanced. So it really makes you wonder just how our great grandchildren are going to obtain information for their research projects and their book reports. Is it going to be easier? Are they going to have to put in any effort at all? And this is why I feel test scores are often lower, just because when we're doing these projects, we use Google to find answers. But then we sit down to take a test and we can't remember anything. Just because we're Googling the answers to pass an assignment and we're not studying to remember the subject. We're not studying to remember the information. We're studying to pass an assignment. And then we sit down to take the test and we forget all of the information that we've researched. We're not doing it for memorization. We're doing it to pass. And I feel like Google is killing libraries. There's things that my mother researched in high school that she remembers just because she had to research it the hard way. When it takes you 5 seconds to tap and find an answer, you don't remember it. You write it down and you turn it in. You don't memorize it. You don't absorb the information. You turn it in for a grade. So I truly believe that Google is killing the term library, and it's really taking a toll on my generation as well as the younger generations, as far as having the ability to have all of this knowledge on a subject. So it really makes me wonder how technology will change in the next 10 years or in the next 20 years when my children and my grandchildren, we're going to be doing research projects. Only time will tell.